won it, but were you pleased with the way you guys followed the scheme, played last week, holding Kansas City to 300 total yards, I think?
I mean, it's really not about yards. It's about points. Gave up the one drive. Rest of the time, I think we had 6 3-and-outs. I think we had 3 other drives where it was 1 first down and we were off, and I think maybe 3 or 4 others that there was only 2 first downs. So that was the top third down team in the NFL. We knew that was going to be a good matchup. I think we won that matchup, but when it's all said and done, we gotta come up with a couple more plays than that. Had our hands on a couple interceptions, had a couple other plays where the DB had a guy boxed out and could have made a play on the ball. We didn't make those. And, when your offense is struggling a little bit, we got to provide the spark. And, there were some good things. I mean, we forced 9 punts. I'm not 100% sure. You guys always have to fact check me, but I think that might be a high water mark for Andy Reid and KC. I think they were averaging like 3 a game coming into this game. But when it's all said and done, you got to hold them to less points than you score. And wish we could have held them to a couple field goals after some of those plus territories, and made it a one-score game at the end. Maybe we wouldn't have felt as pressed to try to make a play on offense and maybe not turn it over. So good things always is. Bad things always are. But I'm certainly not looking for consolation prizes.
I don't know if it was the last game or the game before that, Burrow targeted Chase 18 times. How does the defense allow that to happen?
I don't know. I mean, I had Calvin Johnson, and he was doubled like every single play, and I think it was New Orleans, had like 280 yards. So, Miles gets double teamed on just about every play, and still has double-digit sacks. What's that?
Chase doubled a lot in that game?
Everybody has their little versions of it, and Burrow has the ability to fit balls in, even if you do, take it away. Going back to our first game, I thought our guys did a pretty good job of holding down. We let our guard down on one play, a single high play in the fringe, and caught a fade stop for a touchdown. And and then we had the third down where Higgins caught a slant and scored. And on that one, we had Chase doubled on that one. So it's not so much holding one player down; it's holding the offense down. And whoever it is in there, Higgins, he's leaning on his running back a little bit more now. Chase Brown, he's a smart quarterback, and I think one of the things that's happened over since we played them the first time, you're seeing Burrow extend more plays and make more plays with his feet. Early in the season, that really wasn't part of what they were trying to do, but as they've been trying to outscore opponents and things like that, he's taken a little bit more. He's taken some hits as a result. So we got to limit his scrambling also.
About Miles getting poked in the eye and how frustrating that was, that wasn't called.
Well, I mean, I'm sure nobody was doing that on purpose. It's just like on defense, you get a face mask. I mean, 99% of them, nobody's trying to get a face mask. The guy has hands that get high, and you poke somebody in the eye. I mean, that guy's not a dirty player. He wasn't trying to do that on purpose. But it did affect us. I mean, obviously, on that play, the quarterback was able to extend the play for a long time, and we had really, really good coverage. But, when it ends up, you're rushing basically 3 guys there. Somebody's going to break open. So it did affect us in the game, and it affected us a little bit toward the end. There were some times we wanted to move Miles over to the left side, but felt like he couldn't get off and really key the ball that side with whereas I was. He came back and did what he could for us, and we still pressured at a really high rate last week. Didn't get any sacks, but held Mahomes, I think, to his lowest career completion percentage. We had one of the highest pressure rates that KC's given up in last 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. So Miles did a lot in that game, but, obviously losing him for that play and that extension, it certainly affects us.
Denzel Ward said he would love to be shadowing Chase in this game. And considering you got two young guys next to, left at cornerback, is that a possibility?
Yeah, it's always possible, and we'll have stuff where he's on him, we'll have some stuff where he's not. He shadowed Worthy a lot last week. Thought he really did a good job handling that. That was a matchup they were relying on Worthy for a lot of those plays down the field. And one of the things that we struggled with a little bit earlier in the year was some big plays allowed in the passing game. And KC certainly took their shots. They kept trying to get these balls down the field, and our guys were there to defend them. And Denzel had a lot to do with that. So, again, this isn't a game, though, that you can just take one player out. You can take Chase out, and, they have good players around, and they got a quarterback that knows what he's doing. And like I said, a quarterback that can make some plays with his feet, too. So it's going to take a team effort on defense. But, Cam stepped in, hasn't played a lot of outside corner for us. Stepped in and, did an admirable job. And, Miles Harden had his first real playing experience, hadn't played for a month. Some mixed results, but, those guys battled.
What do you expect, Jim? Now this might be a tougher challenge with Burrow and those receivers without Emerson and Newsom.
Well, we'll see where MJ goes as he's working through. See if he's available to us, and if he is, then it's good to have a good player out there, and he gives us a good size matchup too for guys like Chase and Higgins on the outside part of the field, and we'll just see where those guys get us. We'll have a plan, whoever's available to us.
About Burrow a ton, and you guys had some good success against him even in the first game. But I think it's 3 touchdowns in 6 straight games. Some crazy record.
Yeah, scoring a lot of points.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he doing even maybe better now than he has in his career, besides the scrambling that you mentioned?
Well, I mean, he's always been a scrambler. His mobility and ability to extend plays has always been, an asset for him. But it's also maybe sometimes led to some injuries and some of the things that he's had. Quarterbacks feel tremendous responsibility to score a touchdown on every single drive and things like that. And his command, he gets rid of the ball quickly, recognizes blitz. He's really good against the blitz, and he knows where to go with the football. He's seen a lot of things people do to try to take one receiver out. He knows where his answers are. Good command of the run game. They're not running it at a high percentage, but they're running it effectively and playing to their strengths a little bit. So it's a challenge every week, but particularly when you got a guy like Burrow, you got a guy like Chase out there. We're going to have to play our best.
Off of that, the way they've run the ball effectively, just what have you seen out of Chase Brown for them? And as he's the last few weeks, as he seems to have gotten going a little bit more and becoming more of a key piece of that.
Yeah, a lot of plays he's made has been in the scramble game. He made a couple plays last week, scored a touchdown on an extended play scramble by Burrow, and another time there was an extended play, and he broke open down the field, and Tennessee got a DPI on the play. Has really good feet, really good speed, hits the hole really fast, and he's been increasing in his production in the passing game. Good player.
Has historically destroyed their left tackle, no matter who it is. It looks like Cody Ford will be back there for them. Do you see, what about that matchup?
Yeah, I'm in favor of that. I mean, everybody has a plan. They've been using a lot more tight ends in the backfield, particularly on third down. There's a lot of third downs where there's no running back in the game, and they're using their tight ends to protect and to chip, and help them in blitzes and also help versus edge rushers. So it's not just going to be a one-on-one battle. You know, it'll be coverage, it'll be, you know, beating protections, it'll be winning one-on-one matchups, sort of the way it always is. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.